Hi guys, good afternoon. Just gone midday here in London. Hope you all had a nice weekend. I guess, looking at the video I recorded last night, we were saying we were going to gap down. It didn't take long for us to recover. Stock's currently up 18, but we've hit an important level, an area I marked out with our traders this morning at 30.94, saying I would be bullish above here. The failure to get above that point. What time is that? Around 10 o'clock. It's just seen us drift down a touch. For me, nothing reading into that. It's just a bit of profit taking on a level where the sellers took over on Friday. We're coming down to the next area of interest for me, a point where I think the bulls may consider a point to defend. That and 30.65. Below those levels, then I'd be less confident. And the reason I like the 30.65 as sort of the last leg of defence is just because of the importance of that area. Last week, you can see was the bottom end of the range. We then broke back above it. If you watch that video from Sunday, I'm talking about how this is where I'd be bullish above. So this has to hold 30.66. If it doesn't, well, it's not looking too good. But for me, that's an important area, one to consider, and it's similar for both the Nasdaq, which is obviously clean that and more in the early trade, and the Dow, which is just lagging a bit behind the Nasdaq, as is of course the S&P. But for the Dow, that similar level being kind of around this point, albeit more choppy than the S&P, just worth keeping an eye on as we do start to drift down a bit. The pound, interesting push higher up to the R1 where we found some resistance. It's up 29, helped by a bit of risk on. I used the S&P for a really good gauge, really, for the markets and pound being that. On the daily, for me, the bears are well in control, and that happened from Friday. Just the retest of what was the bottom of this range. You can see that area here. I can't really justify being bullish unless we get above 124.59, i.e. the high that we had on the 19th and the low of the 15th. We are up for now. Next sort of area I'd be looking at to the downside is that 123 handle, if we especially can get back below the low of the day. The euro, we just came into an area where the bulls needed to take control, and they have so far. You have to say the previous high that we had on the 27th of March, we've just got the retest here. I think the bulls will be super happy if we can get above 112.78, just the double top, if you like, from the 19th and 18th, and some decent price action before that as well. So yeah, that's how I see the euro playing out. Let's just give that a little look closer to how we're trading. You can see we have just create that double bottom there, a lot of resistance up. We're now pretty much bang in the middle. So looking at this opportunity wise, other than these top and bottom of the range, I guess you could start to see maybe some sort of trend line come in. The line in the sand for the day I would have as the morning high, which then turned into a bit of support around the 112.26 for the euro. We'll have a quick look over at gold, which of course pushed higher on the open, only to then come back. And on the daily, you can see we're still sort of limited. We haven't quite reached that top end of the range, so that's something to have marked up. To the downside, just be aware of these previous highs. They're acted quite well so far as a level of support as we've come back in. If they are to go, it's still a fair bit of support just below. The pivot looks like quite a good level today, 1750 area around there as well. For those on the Amplify live subscription, we're doing the first masterclass this Thursday with Anthony. So any questions on fundamentals, better start preparing those. It should be a good session, and that will be Thursday evening UK time. But if not, I will catch you later on today anyway, and I look forward to delivering these videos for the rest of the week.